So hello Trinity students, I hope you're all safe and well. My name is Edwin Nienhuis and I'm the People and Talent Program Manager at IBM Digital Sales here in Dublin, Ireland. I've been asked to tell you a little bit about how to make a CV and kind of some pointers. Based on my experience, I probably hired 40, 50 people at IBM and I've looked probably at thousands of CVs. So these are a few kind of tips and tricks. So my general advice when you're making a CV would be to make sure that your skills and qualifications are aligned to the job that you're applying for. This is probably the most important piece of information. The second advice that I would give you is that the experience section that you have on your CV should really demonstrate the skills that you're mentioning. So if you say you're good at something, make sure that your experience section on the same CV is demonstrating that skill. Highlight your soft skills. So collaboration, resilience, problem solving, especially when you don't have a lot of experience yet. You're probably involved in a lot of projects, either in the university or outside the university, where you have a lot of soft skills. So make sure they are visible on your CV. Another point would be to really make sure that you're asking somebody or multiple people to proofread your CV and to ask them to give you feedback. This is very, very important. And the other advice that I would give you is make sure that your LinkedIn is up to date. So your CV doesn't have to highlight everything, but make sure that if you say something on your CV, that it says it on LinkedIn as well, especially when it comes to when you started something, when you finish something. The second question that I wanted to answer is, how long should a CV be? There is not really a right and wrong answer, but just to give you an indication, if you're a young professional, I think 1 page should definitely be okay. If you're an experienced professional, probably 2 pages would be okay. It doesn't have to be a life story on a piece of paper. It should really just highlight what is relevant to the job that you're applying to. The mistakes that I see on a CV are two. One, there are too many pages, or there is too much information on 1 page, so it looks very busy. You have to imagine a recruiter or a manager looking at a lot of CVs, and if you look at a page with a lot of information, the recruiter might just put it away and say, okay, I need a little bit more time to look at that CV, and that's of course not what you want. The second point is really make sure that what is on your CV is relevant to the job. I know I mentioned it before, but in a lot of the CVs, when I read them, I don't always see the relevance to the job that people are applying for. And that's a third point that I want to make here is, why are you applying for the job? So that's becoming very important in the interview as well, but it should be clear on the CV, why are you applying for the job? And I think the mistake that people sometimes make is that that's not very clear. So I've been asked, do you think that students or people that apply for jobs spend enough time preparing their CV? And it's a difficult question to answer, because I think some people really do, and we can see that the successful applicants or the people that we are inviting for interviews have spent some time on their CV. But I think in a lot of cases, sometimes we get CVs and it's quite obvious that not a lot of thought went into it. It looks like maybe a 10-15 minute kind of job. It could almost be a copy paste from LinkedIn and they submit it. Just remember that the CV is, the goal of the CV is to get you the interview. So the CV, if it's let's say a business card or a 1 or 2 page document, it should really represent the best of who you are. And then it will get you that interview. And then you have more time to explain, some of the things that you've done. I've been asked the question, if you receive a CV that is one page in length, is very basic, but does address the key criteria on the job description, is that good or not? Few comments on that kind of question. So one page is okay. If it addresses the key criteria, great. But if it's a basic CV that really looks and feels like all the other CVs, and it doesn't make you stand out, and when I look at 20 CVs and they all look the same, I don't think that will do you any favors. So one page okay, two pages okay, addressing the criteria, very important, so that's very good. But if it's a basic CV, I'm not sure if you're doing yourself a favor. So it should definitely stand out. And using colors and visualizations and bullet points are all things to make your CV stand out. And then really to the last point. So I've been asked, like, what is kind of your dream candidate? And of course, it's an impossible question to answer, because in IBM, we have so many different roles, and we're really looking for a diverse, a set of employees, because everybody brings their own unique capabilities. But when I look at some of the trends, we're really looking for people with technical skills. We're looking people with industry skills. What's very important to us as well is that we see people that do continuous learning. So when you finish like your university degree, a master degree, it doesn't stop there. It will continue to learn. And it's not so much what you learn, but also how you learn that is very important. And soft skills like collaboration, especially in the time of COVID, resilience, and also the ability to, or the capability to make mistakes. It's okay to make a mistake as long as you learn from them. And if a candidate brings that mindset, in addition to a clear understanding what the role is and what they want to get out of that role and why they apply, it would come very close to what I would consider kind of a dream candidate. So I hope this video gave you a little bit of an insight and some useful information, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.